We got a big trade to announce. But first, Steve has a Rangers jersey? Yeah, Jesse Blake got it for me. What a nice guy. And I decided to wear it in this video because it's a trade between the New York Rangers and the Colorado Avalanche. I would wear an Avalanche jersey, but producer Drew's never given me one, so. All right, here's the deal. Puckpedia has the details. The Colorado Avalanche acquired defenseman Ryan Lindgren from the New York Rangers' $4.5 million cap hit, but retained 50%. They get Jimmy Vesey, utility player, he's been in the league forever, and prospect from the NCAA, 22-year-old defenseman Hank Kempf. The New York Rangers acquire Russo Parssinen, a forward who's on his third team this year, defenseman Calvin Haan, he's been in the league for quite a while now, a second-round pick in 2025 that is conditional, and a fourth-round pick in 2025 that is conditional. Now, the conditions on the picks are simple. The Avalanche had 2 seconds this season and 2 fourths this season. They actually have the Rangers' own second-round pick and Carolina's, so Colorado is going to give the Rangers the better second-rounder, whatever that ends up being. And the fourth-rounder, Colorado has their own and also Vancouver's, and they're going to give the Rangers the better of those 2 picks. Really interesting deal here because I think both teams get what they want. Straight up, I think the Colorado Avalanche get better. Listen, Ryan Lindgren is having a miserable season for the New York Rangers. Absolutely awful and abysmal. That is not the way we were talking about this player like a year ago. No, he was a top pair defenseman playing with Adam Fox on the President's Trophy winning New York Rangers, who went all the way to the Eastern Conference Final and finished their season within 6 wins of the Stanley Cup. 6 wins sounds like a lot of wins away from the Stanley Cup, but consider most teams don't get near that close. I make a video about one of those teams after every game. The Avalanche need a player like him right now. Josh Manson is out of the lineup, and I'm not saying Ryan Lindgren is Josh Manson. He's not, but they need that physicality badly. And that's what Ryan Lindgren's there for. He's at 19 points this season, but in his career, he's never hit 20. He's not there to do Adam Fox's job or Keandre Miller's job or even Braden Schneider's job. Now, did he do a good job of that this season? No, but neither did anybody on the Rangers, actually, especially through the first few months of the season, which were miserable. Now they're contending for a playoff spot again. But with an expiring contract, they made peace with the fact they're losing this player. You might as well get something for him. I would not be at all surprised to see the New York Rangers turn around and take some of the assets they got in this deal, a young player like Parssinen, a second, a fourth. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the Rangers turn around and flip those assets for something they could use now. Will they do that? I don't know, but I'm just saying I won't be surprised. They could also just use it to get better in the future, which is never a bad idea. That's why I think some people look at this deal and they're like, oh, the Rangers are selling. They got a prospect-ish. Parssinen is not really a prospect anymore, but a young player and 2 draft picks in this deal. They're obviously selling. I don't think that's what the Rangers are doing. I think it's just good business. They didn't want this player anymore, and they got futures for that player. That's fine. But for the Avalanche, I think a change of scenery could be exactly what this guy needs. And once Josh Manson is back, all of a sudden you have Taves and Makar. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Manson and Lindgren now. Don't forget Sam Girard. The Avalanche have been extremely active in the trade market this season. They changed their entire goalie tandem, and it's paid dividends. They're climbing and climbing and climbing up the Western Conference standings. They're in the top wild card spot right now. Who knows, they could be in a central spot before you know it. Jimmy Vesey is fascinating because he plays on your first line, and your second line, and your third line, and your fourth line. Maybe he's even a healthy scratch. I don't know. He can play anywhere. He really found his sweet spot with the New York Rangers in yet another go-around with the New York Rangers. Last season, 13 goals, 13 assists in 80 games. This season, it hasn't worked out quite like that. And that's a theme, isn't it? Lindgren, oh, he was so great last year. Oh, not so much this year. You can say that about a lot of guys on the blue shirts. Vesey, 4 goals and 2 assists for just 6 points in 33 games so far this season. Somehow, in 33 games, not a single penalty minute. And Colorado acquired him, presuming they're going to go on a playoff run with the guy. He's played 31 career Stanley Cup playoff games, all 31 of them with the Rangers. He was with the Rangers the first time they made the playoffs. He went on a journey throughout the NHL. He ends up on the Rangers again. That was the next time he made the playoffs. So with Colorado, Vesey might play his first ever non-New York Rangers playoff hockey. His game has been accused of being a little too vanilla. That's what was highlighted in Toronto with Sheldon Keefe. Maybe it is a little vanilla, maybe. But in New York, he was just kind of a winger who played both wings. He can skate, he can shoot if he's got a little open ice. This is kind of good because the Avalanche have holes up front and Jimmy Vesey could plug basically any of them, and you have enough season left where you could try him out in a variety of spots. Hank Kempf is kind of the magic beans in this deal for Colorado. He is a 7th round pick from 2021 and a big defenseman out of Cornell University in the NCAA. HockeyDB lists him at 6'2", 203, the exact same as Vesey, which is weird. 7 points in 28 games. He's not there to be Adam Fox, like I said. Or in this case, Cale Makar. I like him as a throw-in in this deal for the Avalanche. You get rid of a second, you get rid of a fourth. Is a second or a fourth going to do much for the Avalanche? Well, you're either going to trade it to try to get something to compete now, or maybe worst case, you end up using the pick. And even if you nail it, like you hit on the pick and it's a great player, is that guy going to be in your lineup anytime soon? The second rounder might in a couple years. The fourth, I doubt it. An NCAA player who was drafted 4 drafts ago? Yeah, that guy might be in your lineup sooner than later. At very least playing pro games for your organization sooner than later. What do the Rangers get? Russo Parssinen, who is on his 3rd NHL team this season. Does that mean he's bad and no one wants him? No, I think it means he's good and everyone wants him. Began the season with the Nashville Predators. That's where he started his career. Ends up on the Colorado Avalanche. And I imagine Chris Drury asked for this player in this deal. For a team like the Rangers, he's perfect. Forget the fact that he's 6'3" and 212 pounds. Pretty much every team wants that player. He's a forward, can play center, 24 years old. If you're a team who doesn't know exactly what you are, you want to acquire a 24-year-old. Are we going to make the playoffs this year? I don't know. Are we going to do well if we do make the playoffs? I don't know. Are you still the same team that won the President's Trophy last year? I don't know. Are you still the same team from a few months ago that was like dead last in the NHL? I don't know. Damn, that's crazy. Sounds like you need a 24-year-old who can play NHL games for you. Does he help you now? Yes. Is he still young? Yes! Hooray! What more do you want? Between the 2 teams he's played for this season, Parssinen has played 37 games and put up 11 points. Oh, that's not that much, you might say. He's 24, I would say. Calvin Haan, on the other hand, is a 33-year-old veteran defenseman in the NHL. He was a 1st-round pick years and years ago, which just depresses me to say because I covered him in junior. 12th overall pick of the New York Islanders, interestingly, in 2009. A veteran of 676 career games played in the NHL. He's played 44 this season. No goals, 7 assists. Trading Ryan Lindgren does create a hole on the back end. I wonder how Haan helps fix it. Then, of course, there's the 2nd rounder in 2025. We don't know which team that pick is going to come from. And the 4th round pick in 2025. We don't know which team that's going to come from. But it's 2 picks, 2 decent ones, for the New York Rangers. Sticking with the theme of the Rangers are weird and no one really knows what they are, they have a pick in every single round of the upcoming 2025 draft. Except for a 1st rounder. The Avalanche, on the other hand, are running out of picks. For 2025, they only have 1 2nd rounder left after having 2. They only have 1 4th rounder left after having 2, and a 7th. No, like that's all the picks they have for this draft. A 2nd, a 4th, and a 7th. That's it. Now that happened to them in 2022. They, I think, had 1 pick in that entire draft, and nobody cared because they won the Stanley Cup. And if they do that again, no one's gonna care. But if they don't, well, now you don't have any pick. In 2026, they have a 1st rounder. They could use that. They have 2 4ths, 2 5ths, and 3 7ths. Reminds me of Kyle Dubas on the Leafs. Dude loved a 6th or 7th round pick. Ultimately, I like this deal for both teams. I really do. I think it gives the Rangers some flexibility, and it's them doing business that I think they needed to tend to anyway. And with the Colorado Avalanche, I like the deal for them because it makes them better. Losing Parssinen isn't great. Vesey can be useful, and I think Ryan Lindgren bounces back. I always bet on a bounce back player. I don't think good hockey players forget how to play hockey. If you see a hockey player magically turn into a pumpkin all at once, out of nowhere, generally, I think they're going to bounce back. And if he can't bounce back playing behind Taves and Makar, then, well, he can't do it anywhere, can he? What do you think of this trade? I'm very fascinated by what you have to say. Let me know in the comment box down below. And stay tuned for all the trade deadline coverage here on the SDPN YouTube channel. There's already a lot, and there's going to be even more. For now, that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends the trade deadline is Friday.